I'm Earl Generic Demon, and this is What's on the Tape, Season 13 of Volume 8. It's also the last chance you get to choose between what we play at the end of the season, so I'll show you that in a second. So, I picked out 2 tapes today, because it's easier to do 2 tapes than try and do a long one, because next week could be a long one, and I suspect it's going to be. So, the 2 tapes I picked out, are basically a computer tape, is one with Hand Attack on it looks like, and Death Chase. Now, it's a brilliant game. I love Death Chase. I also like Hand Attack as well, because the chap who created Hand Attack created something called Solid Soft, which is basically the 3-dimensional graphics he used, and it came into at least 2 games that I know of. Hand Attack and Zombie, which is great, because it's like AA and ZZ for Zombie. So that was rather cool. So I thought I'd play that one. I'm looking for a copy of Zombie. Actually, there seems to be 2 variants as well, 2 cases for that one as well. Anyway, so and surprisingly, our other one is this one, which is basically it's got Star Wars on it. So it's got Attack Walkers, which I think is the Sinclair version of it from 1983, from what we're looking at here. I'm not sure what else it's got on it. It just says Star Wars. Yeah, it just says Star Wars. Something about loading the level, just load battle on the back there. So it's a W.H. Smith tape. It's actually in reasonable shape for a change, so I'm hoping that one actually loads without any grief. I'm surprised we haven't had more Star Wars, to be honest, but it gives me a good excuse to talk about the Book of Boba Fett. If you haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil anything, but we're gonna have a little discussion about it. So, but I've also wanted to show you what I picked up recently. A couple of things. First is, you obviously saw this last week from Ben Steele, which came all the way from the United States. Went to the United States, came back from the United States, and now it's in my possession. I seem to be on a mission though, because there seems to be 12 of these, and if somebody can confirm in the comments, that'll be useful. I'm sure there's 12 of these double play adventures. So I saw another one and added it to the collection as well. So I've got another one. Look at that. Look at the art on that though. That mental. And that mental. Just sort of like dog, like attacking him with a bird parrot thing. He's trying to eat him for the Wheel and Testament. It's really weird. Anyway, but they're text adventures. But this is number 10, so there's 12 in total. But so thank you, Ben, and I've added another one. So that's that bit of news out the way. And then the last thing, let's just move those over for a second, is basically these are choices. So it was either I was calling it the blue and the red. I think the blue is well in the lead, to be honest with you. But there's still a chance if anybody else is new to the channel wants to choose what's played for the last 2 episodes, that one, or 1 episode, that one. So, still available for choice, but in the meantime, let's get these into a tape drive. Okay, the tape is in the drive, so we'll go down to our favourite, which is Load It, or Load Speech Marks. Let's go for that. It's called Dit, by the way, because as a kid, I used to think that that's how it was. I didn't think that those kind of little marks, they kind of were more of a dit than a speech mark. And it was later that I found out they were speech marks, but it was used to be Load Dit as a kid. That's why I say Load Dit. So Load Dit is the thing. Right. Okay. So we have first on this. These are very logical tapes, by the way. These are the kind of tapes that I wouldn't have made as a kid. As a kid, I might have written the names on them, but I rarely would have written any information on it. This actually has, it says Ant Attack here, which has got actual instructions on how to play the game on it, which is quite surprising, really. You don't normally get that. So we actually have instructions on pressing 1 to start. ASDF is fire. That's not a good start, though. It'll be useful if you actually load it. Let's go for it again. I just cleaned the tape drive as well. I wouldn't mind so much, but I actually had a good cleaning session. I thought I'll give that a good clean, because we've got the We've got this session coming up. Do you know what this might be? This will be maybe Asimov related. You know, the mythical Tolkien-esque beast that it is, that basically makes Spectrum games work. Basically, it's where the angle of the head in your tape drive, and it does affect it basically if you can adjust it with a little screw that's in the top. So there's a little screw that can do it. I'm going to swap this to another tape drive, and we'll go with that first off. So I'm kind of a little self-indulgent here. I had a little look through the tapes and see what there was, and I wanted to do this one because, as I say, I was looking for zombie or two zombies, because it's the same person who did
anti-attack, which is fine because it's exactly what we wanted to do. So I kind of wanted to do it because of that reason. That's excellent. That's fine. The tape drives work fine. Right. So I want to get that because anti-attack 2 A's, zombie 2 Z's. I kind of like that. It's a strange he didn't do all the other letters in the alphabet as whatever else it is. Batty Bat maybe for the next one, or Crazy Cat for the one after that. All in his I think it's called Solid Soft rather than Soft Solid because that's kind of weird. It's weird both ways around. Soft Solid is basically his idea of a software solid, three-dimensional, effectively your very early polygons within a game. This guy's development, I don't even know his name. I'm hoping it's going to pop up on the screen when we get so far through and it loads up a screenshot. Hopefully. Nothing thus far. Bit weird. But I'm kind of sworn there was a loading screen for anti-attack. It's making it very weird, this one. It's a very early one or something like that. Could have sworn there was a screenshot for it. Yeah, it's very odd, this one, actually. Very odd loader. Did anybody else remember a screenshot? I'm blooming sure there was a screenshot where it said the patent was pending for Soft Solid, the graphical sort of look of it. That was definitely there. Well, this is weird. Alright, brace yourselves. We might actually have found something interesting here. Something different for a change. Something strange. To be fair, though, I mean, the Star Wars one I've selected there, that's definitely not popped up on What's on Tape before. That's this one with attack walkers and rebel forces and engaging the enemy engines and all this kind of stuff. I think there might only be the one on the tape, which is a bit of a shame. But as I say, a bit of self-indulgence this week. It's been a long week. Lots on, as usual. I hope your week's been good. But, you know, I've kind of work my way to a nice weekend of odds and sods. So as I do this on the weekend, I do that. I've actually done if you saw it yesterday, it was a Switch game was put on the channel. I say yesterday, it's actually today, but it'll be yesterday by the time I get there. I love the time travel related elements of actual YouTube recording. It's kind of recording in the future. It must be really annoying, you know, those people who do Christmas recordings, and you know for a fine well they've not done it at Christmas. They've pre-recorded it beforehand. That must be really weird in an unnerving kind of way. I suppose you have to avoid history or speculating on something that might or might not happen. I don't know. Very weird, isn't it? Anyway, so we've got the Star Wars one, and we've also got Death Chase, which actually features on I think it's the World of Spectrum website, and of course we've got Spectrum Computing now as well, which kind of works, which is basically the same thing, but not the World of Spectrum. But anyway, World of Spectrum has a list of sort of top 10 games to the Spectrum. Now, I think that's extremely difficult. I mean, I think you have to do a percentile, don't you? Because let's be honest, if Spectrum has got the legendary number of about 15,000 games to its name, not including another 5,000 or 6,000 apps that go to its name, you know, applications for word processing or whatever else it is. Wow, it is the right game. There we go. I always thought that loaded there. Sandy White, that's the man, that's his name. Anyway, let me drink a bit of coffee. I hope you've got a beverage. But how can you have a top 10 when you've got 15,000? It doesn't really work, does it? It really doesn't work, right? I'm going to be the girl. I'm going to go rescue the boy from his stupidity wherever he is. So let me have a look. There's some controls here. M and space. There we go. And M and symbol shift are the rotating. To walk is V. V is there. F is fire and C is jump. Right. So there. Right. Okay. We'll work this out as we go. Right, okay, long journey, you see the city. I kind of like this because it's kind of it's a B-movie thing, so I suppose Zombie will be the same. It's a very B-movie-esque idea. It's a place where the ants are giant and you're the hero, I'm the hero, as in the girl. I love the fact that this is a boy-girl choice. I mean, it must be one of the earliest sort of where you could be a girl or you could be a boy. Very, very early sort of example of at least we're doing the right things by people. Right, so there's our time. There's our shoot. There's our walk. See, the scanner's like hotter and colder, so it goes green as you go closer to the person, so it's going green because I'm walking towards him. The soft solid is there. If I press 1, it's one direction. Oh, no, have another go. Oh, God. Hang on, what's to change the views? Oh, no, it's Q. It's Q, P, no, 0, P, enter, and backspace. So, 1, 2, 3, enter, backspace. Backspace is delete, isn't it? I've managed to muck up all my views there, though. Anyway, well, yeah, well, there we go, back again. Right, so we got our little friend lady here. If we jump over the wall, so we throw that. See, there's an ant there already. He's wanting to hurt me. There we go, good shot. So we go over here, and he's tied up, and it's like proper B movie. Hello, my hero. And now they move a bit slowly, but they will follow you. So you go, right, okay, get over the wall together. And then he jumps over the wall, and then you run off to the out there. Congratulations, you saved your first fella from the place. So I kind of like that. I like the fact that you know, it's time saved, left over. I do love the B movie idea of giant ants. I mean, there's nothing better than giant ants, is there? I mean, there isn't really. I mean, I'm surprised that there hasn't been more. There was there was what that came from something from the desert. Was that one? I think that was definitely a thing at one point. There's green. Where are we? You're not up on the top of here, are you? Somewhere stupid like that. The ants can't climb, which is a good thing. So, oh god, nasty fall, bitten. I can't see myself. Change the angle. Dead. No, not dead. Just. That was the only thing about changing the angle, of course. It's quite difficult to see what you're doing. You silly, you blew yourself up. What an idiot I am. Have another go. That's fine. One rescued. So my life's here. Gotta be careful that they're a bit ravenous, these ants. That's my own fault though. I kind of went the wrong direction. But yeah, so I think they came from the desert. It's that kind of thing with giant ants. Something about giant bugs. That's the other one, which is scary. I think is you know, the fact that they could rule the world with their buggish looks and all this kind of stuff. There he is. I knew he was on there. It's you know something. It's go on, get some. There's some blooming ants. Oh, missed it. Angle myself. Come on, lad. I can't get to him from there. I've got to get up on it. Got to set the angle here. The only thing about it is it's got that terrible isometric movement. You know, I say terrible. It's not terrible, but it's kind of tough a movement, if that makes sense. It's not. It's that rotational thing. Those, well, I think the word is it tank style controls? Not quite tank. Very left or right, and very sort of here he is. If I can get up here before this blooming ant gets me. Like the ants. I paralysed an ant by standing on its head, Mario style. Right. My hero! Doo-doo, take me away from all of this. That's brilliant. You gotta admit, that's cool. You blew yourself up like an idiot again. Have another go. I actually killed the boy as well. I don't know how many lives you get, though. You seem to have infinite lives. Rescuing them seems to kind of go on forever. There doesn't seem to be an end. Have another go with one. Does seem to go forever. But anyway, it's a really... I mean, and on the scale of things, this graphical sort of gradiented look and whatever else is. I mean, he was patent pending. I wonder what happened to his patent. I reckon Sandy White's a billionaire now. He's kind of, Microsoft's like busily buying things for £70 billion for not for the good of the gaming industry, purely for the good of the Microsoft pocket at the end of the day and shareholders, which is fine. I've got no problem with that. That's absolutely fine. But it's just a bit of a weird one, that one. It just makes me want to buy less and less AAA games. I'll say this. I say this every time round. Stop feeding them your wallet. And start feeding them. I don't know, most people who watch this don't feed them the wallet anyway. And start feeding them indie gamers and people who it's like that thing you always see, knocking around on social media. That one that says, make sure that you use your local butcher and use your local this, that, and the other. It's kind of the same, except for the fact that indie games tend to be actually cheaper when it comes to that finding that local butcher kind of thing, if that makes sense. They are quite cheap in comparison, whereas a AAA are trying to rip you off left, right, and centre. It's not, you're not getting what you pay for nowadays. That is damn sure. They're not. It's not about creativity or art anymore for them. It's about the almighty dollar. And Microsoft just proved that. However, it still makes them number 3 in the world. Number 1 being Tencent, which is a Japanese mobile. It's a Japanese conglomerate of multiple things. Not Japanese, sorry, Chinese conglomerate of multiple things. And they have. Oh no, that's not going to load properly. It's one of the best games ever. We'll see if it does, though. It'll be funny if it does or doesn't. Anyway, but a Chinese conglomerate of multiple different things, and their mobile market is worth so much money. It's like 1,000 billion rather than the 70 billion they just bought Activision Blizzard for. It's a bit of a sort of a weird one. But I kind of hold to my. I feel almost triumphant, unfortunately, with my feelings about these companies. The fact that they're just going that route. You just can't buy from them, and it's the answer to that. If you want to hurt them, don't give them any money. It's all they make money from. They're shareholders. That's all they care about. So stop buying their games and show your disapproval that way. It won't matter for the most part. Most people won't care. They'll still buy them. Probably crashed. Let's try it again. Let's try a load again. It's only a quick loader. It's a tiny little game. It's only 16k this one, but it is by far one of the greatest Spectrum games. And before I said about the fact that you can't have a top 10, you can have a top 10, but with so many games, it's hard to have a top 10 because I could probably pick 20 or 30 games that I would like in my top 10. And of course, you're going to ask me right now, and I can't think of any. Definitely Death Chase would be in there. Attic Attack, Jetpack, Overcookie, probably Underworld. So we've got a load of Ultimate games in there to begin with. Then you've got Renegade, Target Renegade. You don't have Renegade 3, of course, because that does not exist. What else? I mean, I think we're up to 10 already. You've then got Hungry Horace. Horace Goes Skiing. The buggy game, the space buggy game. Can't remember its name, by Silversoft, which is absolutely phenomenal. You've got Bubble Bobble. You've got Checkered Flag, you've got APB, Saboteur 1 and 2, you've got Ghostbusters, I love Ghostbusters, you've got, oh my god, there's so many games, Jet Biker, Jet Story, Star Biker, you've got Chucky Egg, you've got Manic Miner, you've got Jet Set Willy, you've got Jet Set Willy 2, you've got Zorro, Bruce Lee, all of these could be in the top. That's just. I mean, if I look at my own shelf, I've got some that are turned forward that I would put in that top 10, including New Venture, which is a pretty uncommon game, but I like it. It would be in my top 100 games. It probably is 100 games. That's what it is. You need 100 games, maybe. Maybe it should be a percentile. You know, it's not the. That's not going to work very well. Let's try and find it on the PlayZX. I think is the answer to that. Let's do that. So stop that messing around with that one. We'll find it on PlayZX. But you know, the percentile, the games that are involved in this. There's so many flipping great games out there for the Spectrum. It's just hard to sort of narrow it down to that top 10. You can't, I don't think you can. I don't think it's fair on you to try and do that. Is it fair? I don't think it's fair to try and narrow it down to that kind of thing. It really isn't. But like asking the same of PC games, because PC games have been going for so long, you know, and a lot of them are now still work on current systems. You can't do 10. It's not possible. I know that not Facebook. I know that YouTube enjoys the top 10 best games, but it's not possible. It's just not possible. I can't believe it is possible. Do you have 10? Have you had a 10? Could you do a 10? Could you do those? Those are the best, if that makes sense. Could you do 10? Oh, this is interesting. Death Chase is not on here. Maybe my broadband. Hang on. Let's try it on something else. See if this works. Let's push the button. Is it 3D Death Chase? Is that why I'm missing it? I think it's 3D Death Chase, isn't it? 3D. Yeah, it's 3D Death Chase. It was re-released. It was Micro Omega, and then it was re-released by Zeppelin Games. I didn't know that. We'll try loading the Zeppelin Games version of it, just for the heck of it, because I'm just interested to see whether or not there's a different loading screen or not, whether they took away the original sort of loading screen. Dumper. This is interesting. This is the Zeppelin Games one. Apparently, this is the master tape that they used to create it. So maybe this is the one they actually created the whole thing from. Dumper MC. Loading bits. Okay. Interesting. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, but I mean, could you do a top 10? Would you be able to do a top 10? I don't think it would agree with anybody else's that's there. I mean, there'll be a few. I think Renegade would be in most people's. I think 3D Death Chase might be in a few people's as well. Maybe even Target Renegade may be there as well. But I don't know. I don't think we'd actually agree mostly. We'd agree with most of it. I mean, we'd probably agree with everybody's, but I don't think that everybody's top 10 would be the same. I think you could probably say the top 10 was the same for maybe where there's a smaller collection of games. Maybe if you went with the Sega Master System, total number of games were released for PAL around about 200 and... That's not very good. Whatever that is, that doesn't work very well. Let's try the other one. Let's try the other loader, because that's the original one. I'm going to have no fun at all with that one, with Death Chase. Right. We'll go with that one. Load it. Stop that one. Go with that one. Press the play button here. Push this button there. And go with that one. Anyway, so, yeah. What was I saying? I was talking about the top 10s, wasn't I? And what we'd have. I don't know. I think there would be some that would overlap. I think we'd all agree that they were all good games. But your top 10... very hard, and I think you could probably do it, as I say, with the Master System, which only had about 240 games in the UK. You could probably get away with a top 10 on that, I think. Maybe top 20, because that would give you 10%-ish. So top 20, 24 maybe. That would give you 10%. But in the Spectrum case, top, it would be the top 1,500, wouldn't it? Or 1,500. That's a lot. If you're going to do sort of a list of whatever else is, just to be a fair comparison of the whole thing, if you took that kind of percentage. This is the Zeppelin version of it. I don't know why. I said the Micro Omega version on there, but anyway. 3D Death Chase. Right, Death Chase, brilliant idea for a story. When I played it as a kid, it's very Star Warsy. I thought I was pretending to be on what are they called? Scout bikes that they had in Return of the Jedi. That's why I used to pretend. I was on a scout bike, going through the forest, sort of chasing down Luke and Leia, which kind of makes me a stormtrooper. But to be fair, those Stormtrooper outfits and the Scout Bikers was blooming awesome with those sort of visors, which are sort of more blinkered like a horse. You know, the kind of blinkers of the horse, so you can only see forward. I suppose tunnel vision would help with everything going past you fast in those bikes. That's actually quite that's a thought, isn't it? I wonder if they thought that was the case. But anyway, Scout Biker, definitely what I used to think when I was playing this as a kid. It's just a good game. And the thing is, it really does play well. It's just a good game. I can't remember what the forward and fire is, but we'll give it a go. So 1 for keyboard. That's left and right. Let's accelerate. Ah, there it is. And space is fire. So we're basically a bounty hunter. Searching down and hunting these other bikers that are in the forest, and the helicopter, of course, as well. And we've got to hunt down these other bikers in the forest, and the forest gets more and more sort of thick as we go through. It's just a great game. Night Patrol, here we go, so we'll accelerate up to full speed. And then we'll try and shoot down these other bikers and hunt them. We're getting paid by the hour. We're kind of so there we go. We're going onto the game. I was thinking they're actually more like bikes. These I don't think he was thinking they were whatever else. I think they're actually motorcycles. These, but somebody said, "Oh, make them like Star Wars or something like that." And he went, "Oh, okay, because it'll sell more." Yeah, his game's blooming brilliant, so it's bound to sell blooming loads. I want to shoot that. Yes, got it. So yeah. But. Here's the thing. Are you watching the book of Boba Fett? I'm not sure why they called it the Book of Boba Fett. Is there some kind of Star Wars reference there that I'm missing? Because I thought I was pretty much a fan, and I'm missing a reference to along the way there. I don't get that one. But Book of Boba Fett, I struggled a little bit with it. I like it, and there is a lot of fan service in it. I've struggled a little bit with it. I'm not going to spoil it for you because I think it's really important that if you're going to watch it, you watch it and you don't have some numpty off the internet telling you what's happening in it, because there's nothing worse, is there? It's like modern day trailers of movies. You can literally watch enough trailers of it. You don't need to go see the movie anymore because they've basically shown you the whole blooming thing. Whereas back in the day, back in the 70s, take the Aliens one. The Aliens was just a picture of something climbing over, sort of a film footage going over the top of an egg. And that was it. That was the entire sort of thing for the whole thing. It was just like going over the top of an egg. There was nothing to it. You didn't know what you were going to get with Aliens. You really didn't. That was it. You just didn't know what you were going to get. There we go. All right. Okay. Here we go. God, that's fast. Going through there is fast, right? So, but Book of Boba Fett, I don't mind. I'm okay with it. I think I preferred Mandalorian. Do you remember when it was all kicking off and Disney was taking over and all this kind of stuff, right? It was all kicking off and it was going to happen and they were going to do Star Wars and all this kind of stuff and TV series and all this kind of stuff. We were all a bit sceptical, I think. we were all a bit concerned about what they were going to do. And then a Mandalorian came along and it's Space Cowboy. That's what it is. It's not. It's Saturday night viewing. It's Street Hawk or Knight Rider. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is, by the way. It's not if you can remember any particular episodes of Knight Rider, you'll have done well, all right? Because that's the kind of thing it is. Mandalorian is kind of the same sort of thing. You'll remember certain big episodes of it all, but you won't remember the all the main storyline and some big sort of cinematic bits in it. But most of the time, it's Space Cowboys. That's what it is. Space bounty hunters in space. It could have been the Fall Guy. That's the kind of thing it is. And I can get on board with that because to be fair, everybody needs a bit of pulp in their life. Now, Boba Fett, on the other hand, thus far, I feel like they're trying to create a legend when he's already a legend and he doesn't have to do anything. Sometimes it's the the story of doing it without without filling in the legend makes a legend, if that makes sense. It's the mystique that goes with it, I think, that does it better. So I don't know. I'm not really sure. The only problem is, of course, the guy who plays the Boba Fett, who's obviously the original guy, wasn't the original guy, because the original guy was a different guy, but the original guy who they used for the clones that then made him out because it was Jango Fett and then Boba Fett. Him, the guy who's playing that. The only issue I think I have with him in general is he should be about 40, but he's about 60, the actor. And he's a bit ragged around the edges, which is fine because obviously he's Boba Fett. He's a bounty hunter and whatever else is. But he does look a bit too ragged around the edges, if that makes sense. It just doesn't look comfortable in the armor like he was when he was younger, if that makes sense. So I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one anyway. I'm enjoying it enough, and there's certainly been some nice moments that I've enjoyed. I'm not sure how you meant to soften down what is effectively a bounty hunter. I know they're trying to make it sort of semi-kid friendly, but I don't really need it to be kid friendly. I need it to be a rough, tough bounty hunter. If you're gonna do a bounty hunter, be a bounty hunter, I think. I don't know what you feel. If you've watched it, spoil it. Put a little spoiler thing in your comments just to make sure that nobody else reads it and goes, this little spoiler here. But to be honest with you, I've watched it. I've diligently done. So I watched the first episode with the family because the family really enjoyed Mandalorian. And they watched all the episodes of Mandalorian together. I think mainly my wife quite liked the Grogu, the baby Yoda creature, because we don't know what species they are, which is weird. It's not even in canon somewhere actually, if you look for it. So you got the baby Yoda thing going on, and she quite liked that. She quite enjoyed that, and that was kind of humorous element to it. And the family quite enjoyed sitting down and watching it. We all watched it all weekly, and we watched our battle on. I don't know what this is going to say, but I'm looking forward to it. But we watched the first episode of the Book of Boba Fett, Battle on Hoth. It's the Hoth, so you're an AT-AT walker, I think. Anyway, we watched the first one, and they didn't take to it, so I've ended up watching it on my own now. So that's also a factor there. If they didn't take to it, why is it called Nasty? Battle on Hoth, Nasty. Is it a nasty Battle on Hoth? Nasty noises. That's so weird. What the heck? Nasty noises. I've never loaded this version of it before. I'm not sure what to expect here. Is this going to be it's going to be an adult game that we haven't seen before? Somebody's made a Star Wars adult game. I'm sure that exists already, so I'll leave you to search that to your heart's content with an engine of your choice, preferably behind a firewall or something, behind a VPN, or something like that. But anyway, Battle on Hoth, Your Computer Magazine, July, whatever. Oh right, okay. Press any key to begin. This is not what I was expecting. Your Computer, July 1983, Battle on Hoth. So, top row is laser, second row is accelerate, bottom row is decelerate, and then Z to B is left and right, and B to M is left and right with whatever else. So I need V and M, top row accelerate, press the key to begin, difficulty 1 please. I want time 100. Okay. Oh wow. I'm going to be going upwards here. I'm shooting anyway. I'm pushing up on the keyboard. The input lag is amazing because this is a fully basic game, I think. Saying that, there was a bit of code loading in there. So it's I'm meant to go that way, so I'm pushing to go the direction I'm meant to be going, and nothing's happening. I haven't seen a walker yet. Which is more. I'm going up, I think. None of the keys that it's given me are working, which is not a very good thing. Come on! Take off! I think I am raising height-wise. Am I raising height-wise? I blew up! I don't know! Defense is broken! Rebel forces wiped out. Press escape, try again. 0. 100. 99. Well, I don't know why I put 199 in there. Do. So it's auto-firing all the time. Am I moving? He seems to be swinging backwards and forwards. I'm not actually pushing the key, by the way, here, at all. It's doing it by itself. Is this a very bad program? List. Battle of Hoth. Right. Your computer, July 83. Anybody play this one? There's obviously a bit of machine code in this, a little bit, but not a lot. There's the walker. On line 2847, there is the walker. You can see the bits of his back and his legs. It actually looks kind of cool as a graphic. I didn't get to see that because it didn't work. I'm having a little look to see what else I can see here. Might have just been the graphics being loaded, those machine code bits, to be honest with you. That might be all it is. Yeah. And it's loading the code there again. So I've broken it. I've broken it already. I wonder if there's anything else on this tape, or is that it? We'll see what's on the other side, because there's another side to tape. And then, what I'm going to do, I'm looking behind me. If I can see it, I'm going to pick it down. Hang on. You wonder what I'm looking for? I'm looking for... I've got it. Can you guess what I'm looking for? I've got the Return of the Jedi, the Death Star Battle. I've got that in my hand. This is the Sinclair Spectrum version of it. This is the Parker game that was created for it. So I've now got that in my hand. So we'll give that a try after we've tried this other side there. We might as well. We got some time to kill, as they say. So let's do that. I don't know what to think of the Star Wars universe at the moment. I'm quite looking forward to Andor. But again, I think they're going to Disneyfy it. So Captain Andor is the character from Rogue One, and he was one of the spies in Rogue One. And Rogue One for me has been one of the that's the same thing again. Is one of the highlights of the Disney's ownership. It's one of the highlights. I like Rogue One. I think it's a good movie. It ends well as well. If you haven't seen it, it's well worth the watch. I mean, it's a war movie though. It is absolutely a war movie, 100% a war movie. It's like watching any other war movie where there's a war. It's a war movie. There's nothing wrong with it being a war movie. I quite like it for that reason. It's quite good. Rogue One is good. In fact, I might watch that again today because I quite like it. Rogue One is good. It's a war movie. I can completely dismiss The Force Awakening, the Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker. They yeah, they're not good, are they? I mean, the other thing is that, of course, I'm a fan of. I collect certain Star Wars figures. I collect them when they're cheap. I've said this before. I think I've said this before. I collect them when they're cheap, and when I like them, I particularly get them. The other day, it wasn't cheap, but I went out and got it because I saw it, and I was like, I kind of need that for my collection. It's my favourite character in the entire Star Wars. This is a slightly different version. This spec sounds. It's a slightly different version. I had to go out and get it because my favourite character in the entire Star Wars universe. But to know that it's my favourite character, you have to kind of have done certain things. You've had to watch Episode 1, Episode 2. You have to watch the Clone Wars cartoon. You have to watch Episode 3, the Clone Wars. Then you have to watch. Rogue One, and then you have to watch A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and then followed by sort of the Return of the Jedi with, after A New Hope, with Rebels in there. I think it is. Is it after New Hope? No, Rebels. I think it's after the Rebels cartoon. After you watch that and then forget most of the rest of it because it's rubbish. But you have to kind of watch those things to get the feel for the whole thing. But my favourite character in the whole of the Star Wars universe now, because of the most balanced and most interesting of the characters. They kind of see both sides of the play. It's Ahsoka Tano, and I found an Ahsoka Tano which is the Clone Wars one from on the planet Mandalore, where she faces off against her old master. And if you know who Ahsoka Tano's old master was, legendary. Absolutely legendary in my mind. That particular sequence is really good. I mean, I think as kids we were all Han Solos and all that. But since they've added some bits to the whole universe, I'm kind of okay with that. Can I move up and down now? I'm trying to move. Nothing happens. It's proper broken. It's doing it itself. It's not doing anything. Any button I press is not doing anything. Which is really miserable, if you ask me, unfortunately. Never mind. Never seen that before. Have you? Is it one you've seen before? Is that a Star Wars game you've seen before? I'd quite like to have seen one of the Attack Walkers built together. That would have been cool, I think. I think that would have been really good to see the sort of the little graphic all together in a wanna. See what that was. I've never seen that game before. I hope never to see it again. Well, actually, I'd like to see a working version of it. I think, unless it was, I don't know, maybe it was a type-in or something like that. It could have been a type-in. It's not one I've seen. I think it could be a type-in. What do you think? Type-in? Type-in. Right. Okay. Let's get this. Let's let that go through, and let's put in the Star Wars one. I don't think I've ever loaded this from this tape, so this is going to be an interesting one. We'll see whether it actually loads or not. So one of these Sinclair ZX and Sinclair ones on a silver tape. So we'll give it a blast and see whether it loads or not. So there we go. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm looking forward to Captain Andor, but again, I think he's going to be wimped down on the whole thing, because he's a spy, and he's got to do what he needs to do for the rebellion, or the future rebellion, or the rebellion as it's going to happen. I don't know how that's going to pan out in the scale of things. I think that's. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with that one. So we've got Andor, we've got Ahsoka. She's getting her own show. Again, I'm a little bit concerned that they're not going to keep the grittiness of the character. However, the character has appeared in Mandalorian, and I was probably cheering at the TV when she turned up. Notice the lightsabers are white, and I'm quite sure white means neutral, which is kind of very cool. And that didn't load. Do you want to try loading? That would be nice. We'll put it on the other tape drive, and we'll give it a try from the other tape drive. If not, I'll have to search it up, that one. So I think this is made for Atari as well. Atari 2600, I think it was on those as well. So I think this has appeared before, if that makes sense. So I think this is something we may have seen before on What's on the Tape. So but we'll see. I'm sure lightsaber kyber crystals, I think, which is the crystals that are in the center of your lightsaber, which I think you have to find yourself as part of the process as a Jedi. I can't remember the entire process as a Jedi. But again, I always think the Jedi are a strange order anyway. I mean, I was never mightily impressed by them, if that makes sense. And I'm still not overly impressed by them. I think the neutrals are more interesting. But Han Solo being that neutral as well, by the way, if you're a Han Solo fan, because he's most definitely a neutral in all of these things. Let's see if that works. Nope. Not having much fun today. Remember when I put that Shanghai Warriors in the other day and it didn't load? I was really annoyed by that. Try it a different tape drive, and then we'll give it another try. But yeah, don't know. It does wind me up because again, Disney's another one of those ones that they're out there to make money, so they're gonna do lowest common denominator. So they kind of dumb everything down nowadays. Everything's by blooming committee, isn't it? Most of these movies, and then when they're not, and they do really well, they go, "Well, how did that happen? How did that happen? How did we get a good movie out of this thing? It can't be possible, There was like 2 writers and a 3 pence budget on it, and it's done really well, and people like it. Yeah, because people like stories. They don't have to necessarily understand the whole story to enjoy the story. It's the nature of the beast. That's not loading, is it? It does not want to load. It does not want to load at all. Let's see if we can find it on PlayZX. I can't believe that. Mind you, I can. I'll just rewind that and take that out there. We'll pop this back in here. So yeah, we do. We like good stories. Bizarrely, it's really interesting that is the case. That us as human beings find these things interesting, especially when somebody goes to the effort of doing one. So yeah, if it's by committee, it'll be dumbed down most of the time, which is a bit shame. So that's Death Star Battle, I think it's called. Death Star. Death Star. That's not the one I want. Should we try Return the Jedi? Return of the Jedi. I'm looking here. There we go. Return of the Jedi. Death Star Battle. I've got it. Right. Okay. Press the play button. Let's reset that first. Oh, that would help. I didn't even realise I'd left that sitting on the screen there. It's only a few seconds long to load. Oh, it's 3 seconds. A couple of minutes to load. It was quite bizarre, really. There we go. Death Star Battle. Get a coffee now for a second. Have you got a beverage? Did I ask that question already? I'm sure I did. I don't know what you've all got, but I hope you're enjoying whatever your beverage is. It's a good coffee today. It's a nice milky coffee, actually. I'm going to make another one in a second. It's getting to that time when I've got to go out and make the missus a cup of coffee. She loves to retreat to, as I've said before. We've got a little summer house in the bottom of the garden, which we had heating and heating. We got electricity put to so that we could have so you can have a heater in there, which means even in the middle of winter, it's actually quite warm in there. And it all kind of steams up as well because it's all wood and timber. Why is that not loading? Why is that not loading? He says after he drinks his coffee. Oh, why is that not going? Why do you not want to play today? Why not? Why? What have I done to you? What have I done to offend you, little Spectrum? I was PlayZX and everything. You weren't even going to play for PlayZX. That's just not nice. Why aren't you being nice to me? Don't like it. Let's see if we can find something else Star Warsy, as we haven't done very well with that. Let's have a look. I'm going to look at the shelves. You stay there. Hang on a minute. Right, okay, let's have a look. I think I can see something, actually. I can see something. It's in a nice box, so hopefully it works. So I've got something. Hang on, brace yourselves. Yep, hold your breath until it loads. News headline. Spectrum fans die while holding breath, waiting for Real Generic Demon to load something. Yeah, that'll work well. What do we have to do? Load it. Yeah, okay. Load it. Okay, brace yourself. It's a hit squad. If that helps narrow it down for you. You can guess the moment it loads here, though. It was as close as Star Wars thing I could find. Actually, do you know what? As well, I've put my Ahsoka Tano next to her old master. I think it's kind of apt that I've put her next to her old my little figure for her. Put her next to it. I've also got quite a lot of the Mandalorian ones. There we go. Return of the Jedi. This is the arcade. Well, no, it's not. It's a different game altogether. I completely lie. It's not the game I'm thinking of. Or is it? I don't know. The screenshot's rubbish. They look like Commodore 64 screenshots. Oh no, hang on. What the heck's that? I have no idea what these screenshots are. It's not the game I'm thinking it is, but it's a game anyway. It's a game. It's a game with a Spectrum-y thing involved in it. So, or Jedi thing involved in it. Return of the Jedi. See, I think. Do you know what? See, that's one of my scout troopers there, on his little bike thing there. Really cool. But the thing is, the thing is, everybody thinks of stormtroopers as being these jokey characters, but they were a military force. I mean, even Obi-Wan called them a military force. Remember, these are the same guys who took over from the clone troopers, who were a very effective military force. So these were some trained from birth to be soldiers. So when the jokiness comes a little bit from the first New Hope. New Hope establishes them as aggressive soldiers because they got them shooting Aunt Veru and Uncle Ben. So they disintegrate them. Then they kill a whole bunch of Jawas in there on the sand crawler. So all these things happen, yeah. So they are an effective military force. Luxor, droids, all that kind of stuff. Then when they're on the ship, they kind of, there's gunfire going everywhere, and the stormtroopers don't hit a single target. Princess Leia answers that question. When they get on the ship and they get out of there, and Han Solo's going, look how great I am, I've managed to get us away. And Princess Leia turns around, they let us go, you idiot, effectively. I don't think it's idiot, is it? They let us go, They did. They let them go because they were tracking them. They wanted to know what the rebel base was. So the stormtroopers missing was intentional. They were probably given the order not to allow them to escape, but don't make it look too easy. And as professional soldiers, they aimed slightly off with every shot, intentionally so. But see, that perception then becomes these joke soldiers. They were no joke soldiers. These were proper soldiers. These were stormtroopers. These were a dangerous force. These were trained military professionals, probably trained by some of them trained by the clone troopers from, if you saw the Clone Wars and the Rebels as it goes on, and even the Mandalorian to some extent, and some of the Bad Batch stuff. They got trained by the clone troopers. So there's this perception that they're terrible, but they're not. And then you've got the new one, the new Force Awakens, and where you see Finn is a stormtrooper. Sorry, bless me. Finn is a stormtrooper, and obviously there's a side to it. But the First Order element, so First Order trooper, there's a big difference. This is so that Disney didn't have to pay. Well, I assume so. So they didn't have to pay for the rights to the Stormtrooper armor because they don't own it. It's owned by the studio. What's it called? The one in London where they made the first Star Wars. It's owned by them. They created that armor, and in fact, that's why you can get Stormtrooper beer, but it's not Disney or Star Wars attached to it. If you've ever wondered. Anyway, so but yeah, but then they sort of they're the killing force, blah 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 blah, and then turn back to being absolutely useless. They're not. It's really unfair on the Stormtrooper. That's why I like collecting Stormtroopers. Why I collect things like, sort of Ahsoka Tano and people like that. And it's also why I collect droids, because I quite like droids, so I think they look really cool. Especially I like the IG models. I like the IG-88 and the IG-11 that came out, and I do like the Bounty Hunters, so I like Bosca and things like that. Anyway, stop chatting about Star Wars and let's go on. Let's push a button. What's the keys? Press left. Press trigger to continue. I don't know what the trigger button is. Let's have a look and see if I can find the keys for this. So, keys, instructions, keys. We needed a bit of Star Wars in our life. We'd had a little bit there, but it didn't work very well. So, we definitely needed some more Star Wars in our life. Let's see if we can find the keys. There's the game. There's the keys. Where's the keys? Spectrum users may use the keyboard. An appropriate key control is shown after loading and can be redefined. Can be redefined. Where can I redefine it? I don't see a button to redefine it. whatever it is. Gonna assume it's QAOP in space. It is. Hey! Now I've seen this before, but I've never played it. There's a scout bikers. Uh-oh. There's one coming in. Oh, he's got me! See? He was an effective scout biker, wasn't he? Military force and all. Oh my god, I'm Luke Skywalker and I can't stay on my bicycle. It's not a bicycle, it's a scout bike. I always thought the scout bikes looked really cool with them sharp bladed things on the front of them. They're really blooming brilliant. So, yeah, got him to go. Oh, damn you. Try and get him to crash into the tree, funnily enough. It's QAOP in space. Uh-oh. Ewok. I think they just killed himself there. I think he shot his mate, as well as me, of course. I'm never going to make it through this level, am I? Bloomin' Ewoks everywhere. Murder bears. Most violent thing in the game. Do you know why they were so happy at the end of Return of the Jedi? Because they were about to eat a bunch of troopers. Because that's what they were planning to do with Han Solo and Luke Skywalker and even Princess Leia. You know, they were going to gobble her down like she was the first main course or something. That's what they were planning to do. The good old murder bears. That's what they were doing. There was a big fire in celebration of C-3PO, their leader. You know, as they called it. And they were right up for it. They were going to eat them. So yeah, never trust an Ewok. It'll eat you as much as look at you. So yeah, Ewoks are evil in my book. I don't know why this. Do you know what that was? George Lucas. It's like George Lucas was like, I want to put teddy bears into it. It's like they could have done that with Wookiees. Can you imagine have done that with Wookiees? That would have been more. That would have been awesome, wouldn't it? That would have been brilliant. You know, a whole bunch of Wookiees. I know they did it for replaced it in the first. They did it in the first sort of movies, but if they'd done that with Wookiees, we'd have been like, yeah, that's blooming brilliant, isn't it? All right, you have to kind of nudge them backwards to go past them, right? Okay. There, that's it. So I have to push backwards through them so that they do that. He's going to hit that. Yeah, got one. That's it. I'm doing better now. Go past the murder bears. Only happy when they're killing things. There we go. Murder bears. Here we go. Here he comes. I think we finished it. There's R2-D2 and C-3PO. You made the level. Yeah, look what are those bears doing. They're doing the floss thing, aren't they? They're flossing. Is that what it's called? Flossing. See, I'm down with the kids. All right, it's the same game again, but this time inside the Death Star with the Millennium Falcon. So we're now Lando Calrissian. Good old Lando. We're making our run on the Death Star. We'll make our way through. I think I just need to avoid all this because I don't think there's any real knack to doing anything other than avoiding it all. I think I'm probably meant to have shot at that. I didn't shoot at it. Do I have to do the run again? Yeah, I was meant to shoot at that, and that's where I went wrong. Level 2. Hang on, it's the same. So is that it? Is that Star Wars: The Return of the Jedi? Honestly, you're kidding. That's it. That's entirely the level. I have to go through the same thing over and over, those two levels over and over again. Oh, he killed his mate for a couple of 1,000 points. Yeah, Return of the Jedi. Good luck. Wow. Okay. I don't think I've ever played that, to be honest with you. I don't think it's ever turned up on What's on the Tape before. Anyway, well, it hasn't turned up on What's on the Tape. I put it in Hit Squad Gaming because I got bored trying to load the other one. Anyway, I've been your host, Real Genetic Dean. Thanks for watching. Next week I'll tell you which one won, and I suspect it's the blue computer hits. But if it isn't, we'll have another episode of something different. Anyway, I'll speak to you soon, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye now.